Who doesn't like Greek mythology, right? Everybody loves Greek mythology, and I especially love when new concepts on these old stories and tales are established and expanded upon, and Lore Olympus is exactly that. It's a story set in a modern world with Greek mythological characters and a Greek mythology setting, and honestly, it's incredible. The first thing that stands out about this comic is definitely the art style, which is very unique to other comics on Webtoon especially, but it totally works, and I really can't imagine the comic without it. The way that every character sort of has their own color, it's all color-coded, and it just works. Hades being blue, Persephone being pink, it just makes sense. The fact that every character has their own color adds a lot to who they are, and it really just solidifies them in this story and in this setting. It's great. The way that Lore Olympus ties in Greek mythology into this modern setting is fantastically done, because we all know these stories, but the way that it's being handled in this modern setting is quite unique. So for example, this story centers around Hades and Persephone, and we all know the story of Hades kidnapping Persephone and making her live with him in the underworld. This story is turning that more into a romance. What if Persephone and Hades potentially fell in love, you know? And what if Hades is a guy who wears a suit? And he has some problems of his own, but he's not like a bad guy. He's troubled, but he's kind of a gentleman. And what if Persephone is this sweet girl who has familial problems? And it's just brilliant. I really love the way it's done. And even though they change some character attitudes and designs, some of them are exactly the same. So for example, Zeus is still a and I feel like that's never gonna change. Lore Olympus just does a great job of tying these old characters and concepts into this new story. The plot is great and it's compelling. The chapters aren't very long, so they're like easy to absorb and all that. And honestly, I've said this before, I'm really not too much of a romance person, but this doesn't feel like pure romance. It's also really funny and witty, and everything about it is just really well done, and I have to give it a lot of props for that. Lore Olympus, it's a great comic, and I highly recommend it. If you want to read Lore Olympus for yourself, then check the link down below to download the Webtoon app. You've got all kinds of amazing comics on there, from action to fantasy, romance, everything you could ever want, it's on Webtoon. And a huge thank you to Webtoon for collaborating with me to help make this video possible. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. With that, I'll see you in my next webcomic review.